Dear students, let us begin with the third part of the lesson on India and the USSR during the Cold War, in which we will learn about Indo-Soviet relations during Janata Party government. After the dark patch of the emergency regime, the Janata Party government that assumed office under the leadership of Morarji Desai maintained friendly relations with the Soviet Union. This approach was important in ensuring stability and continuity in India's foreign policy. An agreement on shipping was concluded on 31st March 1977, upon which Foreign Minister Vajpayee reaffirmed India's commitment towards friendly relations with the USSR. 3 new agreements were concluded between the two countries when Soviet Foreign Minister Andrei Gromyko visited India on 25th April 1977, and they were a credit of 285 crore rubles on nominal terms, establishment of the direct communication system between the countries, additional trade worth 160 crore Indian rupees during 1977-1978. High-level visits between the leaders of India and the Soviet Union continued until 1979. These exchanges of visits served to deepen the political and strategic partnership between the two nations, and a number of other agreements on economic cooperation and peace were concluded. India's stand on the Soviet Union invasion of Afghanistan. In 1979, Soviet intervened in Afghanistan, saying that the United States and Pakistan were threatening the Soviet-friendly Afghan regime. The West declared this intervention as the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. The 8-year-long Soviet intervention and military occupation led hundreds of refugees to move to neighboring countries like Pakistan and Iran. Most of them turned into rebels and began causing serious internal problems. However, India did not take a strong position against this prolonged Soviet occupation of Afghanistan, despite the fact that India generally argued that all foreign interventions must be condemned. This action of India was criticized for violation of its principles of non-alignment and shift towards the Soviet camps. Others contended that India's geopolitical concerns and the US-Pakistan alignment justified its position. The then government of Indira Gandhi was concerned about the US-Pakistan joint action on the Afghanistan issue rather than the Soviets' intervention. The US and Pakistan's active involvement in the Afghan conflict, along with their provision of military and financial aid to anti-Soviet groups, was a significant concern for India. The increasing Indo-Soviet relations were certainly because of the massive American assistance being given to Pakistan. The Soviet Union agreed to supply military equipment worth 1,300 crore Indian rupees, including missile-equipped patrol boats, air-to-air and ground-to-ground missile rockets, etc. to India. Later, Mrs. Indira Gandhi explained that India was not receiving any military assistance from the Soviet Union, but it was an agreement made to purchase these items during Soviet President Brezhnev's visit to India in December 1980. Bilateral relations during Mikhail Gorbachev regime. Mikhail Gorbachev became the General Secretary of the Communist Party in 1985. India's leadership changed after the assassination of Indira Gandhi in October 1984, and Rajiv Gandhi took over as India's Prime Minister. Both Rajiv and Gorbachev had similar views on international questions, which helped further consolidate the relationship between the two countries. Rajiv Gandhi paid a 6-day visit to the Soviet Union in May 1985. A new Soviet credit worth 1,160 crore Indian rupees was announced. The 10-point Delhi Declaration was signed between Rajiv Gandhi and Gorbachev as an effective step towards nuclear disarmament during Gorbachev's Delhi visit. The major expectations of the declaration were peaceful coexistence as the basis of international relations, human life should be given the highest priority, cooperative living based on non-violence, mutual trust and cordial relationships should be maintained. Political and economic rights of the people are to be recognized and respected. Money should be spent on social and economic development rather than on an arms race. Proper ambience for the comprehensive development of the individual must be ensured. Proper use of the material and intellectual capabilities of mankind to find solutions for the problems of the international community. International peace and security must take over the balance of terror. Effective steps towards comprehensive disarmament through the path of non-violence. An economic protocol was also signed with the Delhi Declaration, in which the USSR agreed to allow a long-term credit of 2,883 crore Indian rupees on nominal interest for the renewal of certain old projects and to start certain new projects. By the end of 1988, President Gorbachev paid another visit to India, in which a massive aid was announced by the Soviet Union to support projects of development and projects of power generation. 6 other agreements were also concluded during this visit. These include the elimination of double taxation, assistance for 2 1000 megawatt nuclear power projects in Tamil Nadu, and upgrade to technical and cultural cooperation assistance worth 640 crore rupees for the Vidyachal thermal power project, and cooperation in all areas of meteorology and communication system for peaceful use of outer space. Let us summarize what we have discussed in this lesson. India and the Soviet Union showed a mature and stable friendship during the Cold War period. Despite occasional friction between the two countries, both countries maintained cordial relations. The Cold War period came to an end after the Soviet Union disintegrated in December 1991. The erstwhile Soviet Union got replaced by 15 republics and created a union called the Commonwealth of Independent States. India maintained cordial relations with all the members of the Commonwealth, including the Russian Republic, which was considered as the successor state of the USSR. I hope you understood the various factors that determined India and the USSR relations during the Cold War. We have concluded our lesson. Thank you.